Hello and welcome to episode 109 of our SAP on Azure video podcast. Today is September 8th, and together with Robert and Goran, we are here to talk about anything related to SAP and Microsoft. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Today, we take another look at the Power Platform. In the past, we talked a lot about the power of low-code, actually, and how the Power Platform integrates in Office and also in SAP, obviously. Today, we want to highlight another cool integration scenario. A lot of Power Platform users don't know that the SAP Business Technology Platform exists, actually, but there are actually some really cool services on there. So what we want to do today is we want to take a look at one of the services, actually a blog post that I have published some time ago, and we want to talk about how to integrate services from the Business Technology Platform into the Power Platform. But as always, before we go over to there, we will take a quick look at some of the news from this week. And actually, what I wanted to highlight here on our docs.microsoft.com page in the getting started, in the initial area, in the entry page, basically, where all the SAP related official documentation resides, there's also a changelog, which is actually pretty good. So this changelog always indicates or highlights major changes to this to the docs pages. And actually, Martin Pankratz has created a really nice logic app flow that notifies us if there is an update in these documents. So if you want logic apps, if you want to also get these notifications, actually a very easy script that you need to run to get these updates. And I'm sure maybe we can ask Martin to talk about the logic apps he has created some point in one of our next episodes, so that's even easier to replicate the scenario for yourself. But that's just what I wanted to highlight, because this is really an easy way to see if there's some updates on the documentation. Now, obviously, there are a lot of other updates, and Goran, you found the live resizing.
Yes, so that's really an update. I would say exciting. You know, with premium SSD, it's really a kind of bread and butter of the storage for the SAP and for the databases. And in the past, we couldn't do a live resize, meaning you need to stop the VM, resize the disk, start the VM, which is a downtime, right? Not always nice. Okay, if you have an HA, okay, you could use this to kind of work around, but now this is possible to do it online, live resize with the premium SSD V1. This is an announcement, and if you would go to another blog, which is SAP on Azure blog. So Robert Biro really wrote a very nice SAP kind of a little bit specific here, where he reflects and he goes through the actual Linux scenario and how to do the resize. So if you would go down, so yeah, how to do it, you know, and he's reflecting as well if it's an LVM stripe, you know, or maybe some other stripe or individual disk, how to do it. And exactly, he writes also the commands, how to identify, how to do it. Yeah. So really nice blog. Basically, we need now only a Windows part as well.
So I'm looking to you, Goran.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Yeah.
But actually, just one quick. So this live resizing here is only to increase the storage. So I guess would be yeah. I mean, reducing the storage, I think, would be fairly complicated because
doesn't work. And here also Robert is mentioning it's only for the increasing of the size, not to decrease, right? Yeah,
which makes sense. Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
And one interesting part this is the HA part for the IBM DB2 database on either SUSE and Red Hat is the same with Pacemaker. So if you would, Holger, just go to the search for the integrate, exactly. So this is a bit update one relatively recently, where I said for the DB2 version 11.5.6 or higher, it's highly recommended integrated solution using Pacemaker from IBM, and there are some links. The story is the following. So Pacemaker is a part of the Linux operating system, right? Which we use either from SUSE or the Red Hat. So initially, customers were using that OS distribution of the pacemaker. Okay. Now they have opportunity not to use that either SUSE or Red Hat distributions through the OS, but use the pacemaker which comes from the DB2 itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now what's the point? What's the difference? Now customer can use the both ways. Generally, it's recommended the second way from IBM. The reason is that support is more simple.
Mm-hmm.
So if they would use from SLES or the Red Hat distribution, then for the pacemaker itself, support comes from either SLES or Red Hat, and the database part from the IBM. If they go through the IBM channel, everything comes. I mean, everything pacemaker and the database come from the IBM, which makes the support more simple. Mm-hmm. Let's say so. It's, from that perspective, it's maybe recommended the way. Although customer, if they have some, I don't know why requirements still have the old way, can do this as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I wasn't aware of that. Cool. Then one more thing. When I so in recent months, I know Robert, both of us, we had a lot of discussions with customers on security related topics. So what about ransomware, DDoS attacks and stuff like that. And just recently I stumbled, apparently this is a little older, so this is already from last year, but there's an security community, and in the security community they have lots of different webinars. And one of the webinars actually today is around Microsoft Sentinel threat protection solutions for SAP. So I think there's also a recording of this webinar. But then also, if you look down the list, there are some really interesting sessions coming up. So I thought, if you are interested in security, and actually I think at the moment everyone should be, at least to some extent, be interested in security related topics. These webinars might be really interesting. Okay, so that was actually already it from the news from this week. And I just remembered I shouldn't have, I didn't need to unshare because typically, obviously, we have another special guest here. And what we want to do today, I actually want to continue a little and talk about some of the integrations that you can do with the Power Platform. So maybe actually, sorry, let me reshare my screen. One of the things that I have talked about several times already, and that I'm very passionate about at the moment, is the whole Power Platform. And I think we had a few scenarios already. We talked about using Power Apps to create applications that connect them to the SAP system, Power Automate to automate flows and stuff like that, and Power Virtual Agents to create chatbot scenarios, Power BI for the whole visualization and analytics. And in a lot of cases, I think when I pitch this to customers, or when I see customers implementing this, it's very clear that customers are not only using Power Platform. There are also other tools, other technologies used at our customers, and sometimes it's just a backend, so that we are accessing services from an SAP system and from a dynamic system from other systems, and sometimes it's also whole platforms that we're consuming. And one of the platforms, obviously, that is really interesting is the business technology platform. I mean, for SAP customers, a lot of SAP customers have the SAP Business Technology Platform, and the BTP has some really interesting services. Obviously, SAP has also their own low-code solution, but similar like other low-code solutions, you want to consume and connect to the services that are out there, and then create a new applications that retrieves data from a Microsoft system, retrieves data from an ERP system, and retrieves data from the business technology platform, for example. And that's what I try to do in this blog post. I wanted to show how you can actually connect to services on the business technology platform, And as a starting point, I was just using this document information extraction service from the BTP. I mean, obviously, the business technology, the Power Platform has its own AI builder service. That's what it's called. So the AI builder service allows you to extract the information from a document. If you have an invoice, if you have a purchase order, or if you have a completely unstructured document, the AI builder allows you to train a model or to use one of the pre-trained models to retrieve this information. But maybe if you are a BTP customer already, maybe you are already using services like the document information extraction service, then maybe you want to consume this service. And that's basically what I have outlined in this blog post, and I thought maybe it would be interesting to just walk you through the concept of this service.
What is the advantage? Why I should use Microsoft Power Platform? Because I can go offline with that tool, or what is different between?
I mean, the document information extraction service is just an API, and we'll talk about this in a second. So if I go to where's the API Business Hub? If I go to api.sap.com, there are all the APIs listed, also the APIs from the Business Technology Platform. And so what you can also see here is the API for the document information extraction service. And here, obviously, I mean, you can try it out. There's a built-in, okay, maybe I need to refresh this page. There's a built-in sandbox environment, so you can try out these services, and that's basically what you're getting. And what I now can do with the Power Platform is I can build a UI on top of this, or I can embed this specific service from the Business Technology Platform into a process automation or a Power Automate flow. And that's basically what I've done. Okay, so yeah, but that was actually great, because this is the starting point. So this is the document information extraction service. There's a documentation, there's an API reference. So you see here all the capabilities, the features listed. So basically, it's a matter of creating a client, then submitting the document, and then polling the document whether the extraction is ready, and then I get something in return, basically, that I can use. I said you can try this out in the API business, in the SAP API Business Hub, and you don't need to install anything else. If you want to consume it from another place, that's when you need to use really where you need to go to the Business Technology Platform. I have here a trial instance, so that's where I created a trial instance for the and activated the instance for the document information extraction service. And I'm creating a so-called service key. So the service key provides me with the relevant endpoints, the token endpoints. It provides me with a client ID and client secret that I can use to authenticate and then call this specific service. With all this information, I'm actually ready to create my my Power Automate flow. So let me actually here go to Power Automate and click here on the edit button, and then you can see the flow that I've created. And it's actually fairly simple, and it shows, from my point of view, the power of Power Automate. So the first thing, obviously, and here I'm just having this as a manual trigger. So potentially this could be triggered when an email arrives, or when a document is uploaded to OneDrive or something like that. In my specific case, I just have this as a manual trigger. I'll retrieve as a first step some content. And actually what I'm using in my simple scenario here, I'm using a document that is actually provided by SAP as a sample invoice. So you can see here, yeah, there's a header, there's some address information, there's an invoice table header, and then there's the main table with the invoice data, basically. So now what I want to do is I want to take this invoice and use the document information extraction service from the Business Technology Platform, extract the information, and then I can do something with the data in Power Automate. So that's what I'm doing here. The first step is that I'm, and that's, sorry, here, that's what I did manually. I just copy and pasted the service key, and I'll blur the URLs later on. But here you can see the client IDs, the client secret, the endpoints and everything. So I'm just pasting this as a JSON structure directly from BTP into my Power App. And then I'm actually I'm doing this here. I'm parsing the service key, so that after that I can access all the relevant information like the client ID, client secret, and so on. And that's what I'm doing now. So as a first step, I'm calling the token endpoint, which is mentioned in this service key, to retrieve an access token. With this access token, and actually let me show here, down here, I'm using client ID and client secret, which I got out of this service key. I'm using this to authenticate against the token service, and then as a result, I get an access token. With this access token, I can kick off this document information extraction service. So this is the URL of my instance of the document extraction service. There's the endpoint URL, document information extraction, document jobs. I'll put the access token that I got previously, and then I'm just creating the content to post the file name, or actually not only the file name, but also the content to the document information extraction service. And that's almost it. Now I just need to wait, because obviously extracting the data, doing the analysis takes some time. So I'll wait for a few seconds, then I'm checking the status. So there's another endpoint that I'm just querying with the ID that I got when I actually posted this document. And once I get a success message, so if I see that wait, see here, when the status is actually done, then I can extract the response of the document information extraction. So it's actually really a very, very simple flow. If I run it, then we can actually also see it working.
I would say it's really no code solution. It's no code, so to say, right?
Exactly. It was really just dragging and dropping and yeah. I mean, copy and pasting, obviously, like something like the service key. But as you said, there's no coding required.
Because you have the box, okay, give me the file, and then you have the box, okay, authenticate against the SAP, and pass the document and get the results, and then you would basically do whatever you would do it, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
And that's so it already ran. It took like 16 seconds. And if we go in here, then you see the actual run of the flow. So here we're getting the content. We have the service key, and here's the first time that we make the actual call. So I get here this access token as a result of calling here this token endpoint. So I get the access token. With this access token, I actually post the document. So I'm doing a post to my jobs endpoint here. And as a result, I get here status pending. That was the initial creation. And then I just loop until the status is done, basically. And once that is done, I get here the results. And you can see here in the results, for example, let me actually do this down here. You can see status is done, and then you see some basic properties. But then let's see here. There's amounts 8.5, and we can just double check. Or the document date is 2016 January 25. Let's see if that's actually true. So the date is what was it? January 25, 2016. I think that's the oops. This one here is the extracted value. So you can see, yeah, it really extracted the information from the PDF document. Here the document number ENV 3337. If you go back here, sorry. We should see this also here somewhere up here on the top, the invoice number. So and now I could really take all this information. I could again parse this content and make it available in a Power App or make it available in a Teams chat or something like that. Now I have this in my Power Automate flow, and I just can continue to add additional steps here, or a set embedded into another user interface.
Yeah, but this is interesting because what you mentioned, now I can embed in the Teams, you know, so it's easy to do it, right? You have all the ingredients there, you just combine them as per your needs, so to say, publish them wherever you need them.
Exactly, and that's for me one of the huge powers of the Power Platform, that, for example, there is a direct integration of Power Automate flow in Teams, for example. And as you said, the Teams integration then in the end doesn't care anymore where the extracted information is coming from or how it was extracted, whether it was done here using the AI builder or whether it was done using the Business Technology Platform information extraction service. And I think that's for me really this this powerful thing. We can use something like a flow like this, where we obviously need to do the authentication and everything, but then we call the OData service and we have all the information available to continue the story.
And basically through the REST API, you can integrate anything, because today it's REST API is the way to talk to.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, nice, because typically we talk about no code, low code, and this was no code.
This was no code, exactly. It was really just dragging and dropping. And I've made all of this, I mean, it's documented here in this blog post, but I've also put the relevant files on GitHub, so it should be fairly easy to get started with this whole setup.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I think that's already it from my side. I hope that, some folks or some listeners, viewers found this interesting and reach out to us if you have any additional thoughts and questions on the Power Platform, or obviously from anything else.
Thank you, Holger. I also learned here a lot.
Yeah, so do I every time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.